Chalo. So here is the meaning and definition of religion. So basically when we talked about religion, it is a universal phenomena. Universal phenomena means it's present in every society, whether it's in ancient or modern or feudal or primitive communism. In every sort of society we find religion. It is basically guide on two principles, that is faith and belief in some supernatural forces. It is basically related with morality and conduct. So if we look at the concept of religion, we would find that it is typically based on faith and supernatural forces. Basic some of the mores and norms are connected with religion. So let me define religion accordance with the James Fraser. So James Fraser is one of the important anthropologists who has defined religion in his book, The Golden Bough. So kindly remember this name, the Golden Bough, a power superior to man, which are believed to direct and control the course of nature and human life. So with this definition, we came to know the meaning that religion is basically a system of belief. So, I'm really sorry, this pen is not working well. Let me fix it out. Wait a second. So basically, it's a belief and a ritual of thing. Right. So can you remember these two things? So now let's come to the understanding of the reason and evolution of religion. So the question comes, where does religion, the concept of religion arises? So to answer to this particular question, we need to understand the concept of religion. What we have already did in the previous slide. So basically, to understand about the evolution of religion, we need to understand two questions, or you need to fix out the question. The first one is, how did religion begin? Right, so how did religion begin, and how the religion evolved, right? So these are the two important questions which we need to figure it out. Unless until we don't find these two questions, it will be very difficult for us to understand the evolution of religion. So with this particular slide, we will come across the evolutionary approach of religion. So basically, evolutionary approach is given by Darwin's Old Species in 1859. Can you remember this particular name of this book too? So how did religion begin, or how did religion evolve, lies in the answer of the concept of animism. So basically, animism is the oldest form of religion given by Edward B. Taylor. See, he is one of the important anthropologists who talks extensively on culture, and he also talks about religion. So he told about the concept of animism and from which the religion has evolved. So for understanding animism is basically belief in a spirit, or you can say a supernatural force, or you can say soul. So why do you believe in those aspects, right? So this requires another two important questions, which leads to the answer in here. The first question is, what is it makes the difference between a living body and a dead one? So when the spirit, definitely the spirit, when you think about spirit, the thing that comes to our mind is living body, this living life, and a dead one. Where does the difference lies between these two? Another question that comes, what are those human shapes that appears in dream and vision? So what we have dreamed, or what we used to look in outside world, all those are different or not, whether there is some kind of similarity or not. This has been discussed by A.B. Taylor while conceptualizing the concept of animism, right? So I have taken all these things from Haralamba's book, Sociology. So the animism, here is the answer. So animism is basically a belief in the spirit of the dead, of the soul, which we have already discussed. He basically argues that religion in the form of religion originated to satisfy man's intellectual nature. So what is this man's intellectual nature? This definitely those things means how we sense death, how we sense dreams and vision. So these are some of the man intellectual needs. So in order to satisfy these needs, animism, the concept of animism has emerged. So we have different needs, right? So suppose a people dreamt of some kind of an animal, or you can say he had kind of an definition. He want to know about shadows. He want to know about death, right? So to make the people understand about all those concepts, the animism emerged. The ancient people used to discuss all these concepts like hallucination, dreams, shadows, on the basis of some kind of spirit used to be there, and for those spirit we had those dreams. Right? So he tried to associate it with the concept of religion with the five stages of society. Basically, we have five stages of society, right? From those are from feudalism, from primitive communism to the modern society. So, with the evolution of society, the religion, the concept of religion will evolve. So, first there will be belief in spirit, then there will be belief in magic, there will be belief in supernatural force, then ultimately on God. Right. So, here you can also connect with, I think August got definition of society from polytheism to monotheism, right? So I'll be discussing all those concepts in the further of your classes, don't worry. Let's just focus on the concept of religion, don't mess with other concepts. So next come the faithism. So what is faithism? Faithism is basically defined by both religion and magic. So you find in animism there is only a belief of spirit, but in faithism there is a mixture of both the things, both magic as well as supernatural force. So it is believed in supernatural power of God, good or evil. I've given an instance like objects such as leaf or a horn, etc., some kind of a mysterious power. So generally, we believe that this particular tree or this particular object has certain kind of an evil power which will protect us or which will destroy our life. So with those notions of belief, the faithism concept of faithism has emerged. So here I have mentioned the term mana, which signifies power. When there are certain objects in the society which people think that those objects has certain kind of a power, and if we don't follow those, then definitely those power will harm us, right? So this concept of mana has been given or been first used by R.H. Conway. I remember this name too. Next comes totemism. So what is totemism? It is basically an extension of fatalism. First you have a conceptual theory of fatalism, then we move to totemism. So basically totemism is related to totem. Totem is a class of materialistic object that has superstitious belief and power, which is existent between members of a clan. Suppose there is a clan in a society. You know what is a clan, right? So in every family there is a clan. So every society has number of clans. So all the clans have certain kind of an object. They believe in certain kind of an object that has certain kind of a power. For example, this particular concept of totemism is very much popular in tribal society. For example, people have tree, right? So banyan tree, Hinduism has faith on a banyan tree. Why this is? Definitely, banyan tree can be symbolized as a totem. For understanding, I have given you this example. Similarly, there are many totems in a society. So Durkheim found 460 to 500 totems itself in southeastern Australia. So he tried to find out the oriented tribe of Australia, where he talked that there are more than 450 plus totems there in the society, and which ultimately brings out the concept of religion. Right. Next concept here is naturalism. I hope totemism is clear. The next, naturalism. Naturalism is basically the belief in the forces of nature. Right? We have certain kind of belief in sun god or a wind or even the earth god. So there are different elements of the world and which we believe that they have certain kind of force. Ultimately, this faith is naturalism. So the F. Max Muller is the person who is associated with this form of religion. So what is naturalism? Naturalism basically a response to the effective power of nature. For instance, the force of wind becomes the spirit of wind. Similarly, the power of sun becomes the spirit of the sun. These are some of the examples, right? These are examples. So force of wind, we believe that Wind has certain kind of force, or you can say definitely, or you can say the sun. Why do we pray to sun? This related to naturalism, right? So faith on sun god, faith on wind god is nothing but a concept related with naturalism. So this is about all the three forms of religion that brings the evolution of religion. First, let's understand the definition and concept of religion. And we have defined here the gems treasure. If you find some other definition too, you can use it. But remember that basically religion is based on two important things. First one is belief and second one is ritual. These are the two important elements of religion. So if any of the definition leads to this two important component, then definitely this would be the definition of religion. Next come while understanding the origin and evolution of religion, we need some few concepts to clarify. First one is animism, that is belief in spirit. Next one is faithism, that is believed in both magic and spirit, maybe good or bad. Then totemism, basically is an extension of faithism, means belief of having supernatural power on certain kind of an object. Then come naturalism. So these are the few concepts which you need to understand while understanding the concept on religion. So this is about today's lecture. Hope it's clear.